Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Charlie from Conscious Creation, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you what your higher self is, why you might want to connect to it, and then towards the end of the video I'm going to share with you how to do it. Your higher self is you. It's just simply an expanded version of you. If you look at the work of Bashar, who's this channeler, he talks about that we are all these vast spiritual beings, and the part of us that comes into the human form is just a very small amount. So this vast aspect of us is already right now in the spirit world, a larger aspect of our consciousness, and it's projecting a part of itself into your human body to experience this physical reality. Now, the amount of it that it projects into your physical body is around the size of a thumbnail, so a tiny, tiny part. Now, when we go through the process of healing and this process of ascension and release these heavy aspects within ourselves, it allows a larger aspect of our consciousness, more light and information, to come into our body. And this is the process of expanding our awareness, expanding our consciousness, and going through the process of awakening. We are just connecting to this larger aspect of ourselves. So why do we want to go along and connect to our higher self? Because your higher self can give you amazing guidance in this reality, and it comes from this inner knowing. It knows exactly where you want to go, what you want to do, and how to get there in the easiest way possible. So you can start to see the benefits of connecting to your higher self. A really good analogy that I like to use with this: let's imagine you are kayaking down a river, and you can only see 50 meters in front of you and 50 meters behind you. This is your aspect of consciousness, or the amount of awareness that you have. You can only see a little bit in front of you and a little bit behind you. Now, your higher self can be seen as this eagle that's flying above you. Now, this eagle has a much wider perspective of the stream that you are kayaking down. It can see a couple of miles down the river and a couple miles behind you. Now, we are going to use this eagle as a representation of your higher self. So let's say, for example, there's a very dangerous waterfall 500 meters down the river. And suddenly you get this little nudge inside of you that you need to get out of the river and take your kayak somewhere else. You have this inner knowing, this intuitive feeling. That is your higher self. So when you connect to your higher self, it can tell you things and guide you so you don't go down the wrong path. It can guide you so you go along and do the right things in your life that's going to bring you the most joy. So this is why it can be amazing to connect to our higher self. So the question is, how do we go along and do it? It takes a little bit of practice in order to connect more and more to our higher self, but the more we do it, the easier it becomes, and the easier, or the more that we can actually trust it. So to do this, what we need to do is we need to learn to quiet the mind and focus on being more present. Now, the aspect within you that is connected to your higher self is your soul. So remember how we talked about there's a little bit of, or that larger aspect of you is projecting its consciousness into your body. We could call that or represent that as your soul. So the more you connect with that part of yourself, the easier that you are going to connect to your higher self. And we do that by learning to quiet the mind and become more present and be more in our body. When we are more in our body, we can become familiar with those feelings, those nudges, those intuitive knowing that we get from our higher self. And you will find as well, whenever you follow the guidance of your higher self, everything will always work out perfectly, and it always leads you down the path that is most exciting. So to truly connect and use your higher self, there's the saying that is, follow your bliss, follow your excitement, because that's the nudges, that's the higher self trying to tell you to go down this pathway. It's saying, go down this pathway, go down this pathway. For me, so many times I was always like in my life that I need to go a certain pathway, I need to have a certain plan. And it was my mind trying to plan things all of the time because of what I had learned from in the past and what I thought would work. But things never worked out the way that I wanted to do it. Whenever I followed my higher self, things always worked out amazingly. But when you follow your higher self, your mind's going to try and get in the way, saying this is a stupid idea, this isn't going to work. There's no logical reason towards doing this. You might get this nudge to go to that country, to go to that place, to go and see that person. But you'll see as things unfold that it's exactly where you needed to go and what you needed to do. So I hope this information has helped you. Thank you for watching. Peace and take care.